Hey, good evening, everyone. It's about 9:30. Yeah, it's about 9:40. Um, very, very tired. I'm still working. Still got a lot to do. But wanted to get this unboxing on here really, really quick. This particular shoe. First of all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Flood up those comments. And if you happen to see anything moving in the background, my snakes are really, really active tonight because it's a feeding day. I got, rats thawing out. So the snakes are pretty active right now. But anyway, this particular unboxing I got, like I said, I hit on this particular raffle all the way back on August 1st, last month, and 2 days ago. When this raffle went out initially with this particular store, they said whoever hit on it, orders would ship out by August the 28th or the 29th or something like that. I think the day after the sneakers day release, all of their pairs should be shipped out. And then, just in time for Nike to drop their pairs on the sneakers app. And it was crazy because I started not to go in on the raffle. I was, people was trying to say it's 100,000 pairs at this store. It's gonna be 100,000 pairs on the sneakers app. It's gonna be local boutiques. All these boutiques gonna get the shoe. Well, guess what? No boutiques got it. Most of the stock was with this particular store, and um, and the thing is, sneakers just did some whack EA, and they did dumb EA, and they didn't give it to a lot of people. People that already had got multiple pairs on the raffle got EA again. Now, if I had a known that 2 days or a few days after I hit on EQL with this one, that I was gonna miss out on the Jordan 10s because I didn't have the right, because Apple flagged my account for fraud, and they were waiting for me to respond, and they ended up giving the shoe to somebody else on EQL. If I had known that, what I would have did was I would have went in on this raffle twice, went in somebody else's name and had it shipped here, like my wife's name, my brother, my son, anybody, just had a double another entry in here because some people got 2 and 3 pairs from this particular raffle, which was crazy. But had I known that, I would have tried to get a second pair so I could have this as trade bait to either trade towards the Nigels or trade towards those Jordan 10s, and either trade on the 10s and have somebody give me some extra cash, or trade this on the Nigels and put some extra cash with it. But anyway, this particular shoe, I'm glad I at least have one pair though, because a lot of people didn't get no pairs, and a lot of people that really wanted the shoe missed out because they didn't want to do the EQL raffle. So it worked out. I at least got one pair for the toe. I was never planning on reselling the one pair. Like typically, if I can get my hands on a particular shoe that I want, I'm either keeping it to wear at some point, or I'm throwing it right on feet as soon as it get in. I'm rocking them. That's the thing. So very rarely would I ever buy a shoe for resale. Only when if I had a hit on those Awakes, the pink pair or the blue and the black and racer blue pair. I really didn't care for those per se, but I saw other people were going crazy for them. So I was like, hey, if I can get my hands on either pair, especially when they were first dropping, I could take those pairs and probably trade them for the brick by bricks or trade them for the band Jordan 1s that came out earlier this year. But now the prices on those are dropping. The blue racer blue pair, I think in my size is like 350, was like 700-800. The pink pair is down to like 7. It was like $1,000. So those are kind of already losing hype because they should have just let whoever wanted the shoes get the shoes in the first place instead of doing a friends and family link and then doing all this stupidness with backdooring the pairs. Because now it's like it was such a limited amount. All the people that was trying to get a pair that ended up flipping them and paying extra and stuff, that whole particular wave and hype thing is pretty much dead. Like, no one's going to really care about those shoes a year from now, 6 months from now. People are going to still care about the Nigels from now. Just the same way people still care about the SB4 Pine Greens. Like, that shoe came out 2 years ago. There's still people that are looking for that shoe and wanting that shoe. So, it's some shoes that sometimes transcend, I don't want to say time per se, but it's some colorways in the Jordans where people still going to go back and try to get them a couple of years later if they can, or a year later, but some shoes just die out and they lose all hype. But anyway, this particular shoe, we get back to this shoe because this is what this reveal is about. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, pull this out, and let you guys see it. This is gonna be my first time seeing these in hand. I watched a lot of reviews on these because for some reason I was in that last batch of orders that got shipped out. My order got shipped out, I think like on the 28th, and I just got it yesterday, which is crazy. But a lot of people were able to get their pairs early. This particular store started shipping them out, like I said, after August 1st. So some people got theirs early, you know, throughout the month of August. Some people didn't get them until September like me. And then the crazy part, some people even got their orders canceled in the last week because they ran out of pairs, which is crazy. So feel bad for anybody that had to get a refund that didn't get their shoes. But anyway, let me go ahead and open this up. First time seeing these in hand. I'm excited. And, you know, like I said, it's a good time to be, you know, a sneakerhead right now. So let me open this shoe up. Let you guys see this. Like I said, it's my first time seeing these in hand. Look like they got a packing slip on top. These are, you know, final sale, no refund anyway. So it ain't like you need a packing slip. And it's funny because it actually, now, I could have sworn it said these were final sale, no refund. But on the packing slip, it does say you've got, oh, never mind. It says, well, I don't know. It kind of reads weird because it says it's final sale, but it also says you got 14 days. So I don't know. But of course, anybody got their hands on these, we're not returning them. Some people were talking about quality control issues, but even with that, nobody was sending these shoes back. Too many people was waiting on these shoes. And if you saw the reviews, you know what the box looked like. As I'm going to pull this out, you're going to know exactly what this is. And context clues, if I'm talking about August 1st, y'all already know what dropped on August 1st. So y'all already know what these are going to be. But if you don't, let me introduce you to these bad boys right here. These are the Jordan 4 Undefeated Collab. The tag reads Air Jordan Retro OG SP Deep Green Clementine Black. Yeah, Clementine Black. And as you can see, my usual size in Jordan 4s, that's a size 10, 11.5 in women's, size 10 in men's. So I'm gonna let you guys see this. The box is like a gray Jordan box, similar to how you have the gray Jordan 13 boxes, that they're all gray with the Jordan Jumpman emblem on the top. But with this one, it has the 05 up here, 25 down here, and for 20 years with the Undefeated logo and the red Jumpman in front of it. Because there's been 20 years since they released this particular shoe. Undefeated was the first company to ever have a collab, first boutique ever do a collab with the Jordan brand. They did that in 2005, and after that, other boutiques got picked up and followed, you know, the trend or whatever, but they were the first ones to do it. They dropped about 80 pairs of the shoes originally, 80 pairs of these shoes originally in 2005, and they're super limited. Before this drop, these shoes are like 10, I think like $25,000, $30,000, something like that for resale. But I'm glad that I have these now in my hands and that I have these in my collection. So let's open these up here. You open up the box. You do got a QC, quality control sticker there on the right tab. So if you're getting these resale, you'll know what to expect. You got the tissue paper, which is like, it has the Jumpman and the Undefeated symbol. And it has like little lines going through it. Inside the box, it has the Undefeated postcard that is in all of the shoes. So on the front, you know, it's just like a regular postcard. On the back, it's got Undefeated, and it says La Brea since 2002. And if I'm not mistaken, y'all can beat me up in the comments about it, but if I'm not mistaken, La Brea, California is the first place where they opened the first Undefeated store. That should be correct, but you can correct me if I am wrong. But like I said, it's late, so I might be wrong on that. But if I'm not, trust me, probably not wrong on that. But anyway, now with these shoes, they are individually wrapped. Like Jordan Brand has been wrapping a lot of their new shoes and new releases individually in tissue paper. They did it with the SB4s. They did it with the SB4 Navies. They did it with the Rare Airs. They did it with what other Jordan 4s they just do this with when they wrap them up individually. They did it with the Jordan 3 Soul, Korea Souls, and they did it with a bunch of airships they had on individually wrapped and a few other ones. It's just, oh, the Spider-Man collab Jordan 1s, the second pair that they did for the most recent Miles Morales movie that came out a couple of years ago, those are individually wrapped as well. And a few Jordan 1s after that are individually wrapped, like the reimagined Royals. But let me go ahead and pull out this shoe. This shoe here is the left shoe. Now, some people was complaining about quality control, so I'm hoping and praying my pairs look okay. They got these mugs wrapped up like sandwiches. It's like double wrapping paper on it or something. They just got these boys wrapped up real good. So let me pull these out. I always try to keep the paper in a way where I can put them back in here until I actually get my first wear in, and then I kind of don't really care about the tissue paper no more. But this is the left shoe. And I can kind of already see from here some quality control issues, but it's all good. Like I said, it's all good. It is what it is. So I noticed immediately on the toe, just a little glue stain right there on the left shoe, but it's okay. They still sweet though. And one person was doing a review, they was mentioning how the cage netting was a little loose on theirs. I guess that's the same way with these too. They didn't sew this part in super tight. But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, and another kind of, I guess, glue stain there. But anyway, the shoe is this green nubuck color with black laces. Now, this was one of the first shoes to ever do the Nike patch. So the Rare Air Jordan 4s kind of copied off of the Undefeated. So the Undefeateds also have a patch that you can remove and take off. But the upper is a green nubuck. It does have Nike Air on the back. It was rumored that when these would drop, there would be two versions, one with the Nike Air and one with the Jumpman. I believe they did the Jumpman on the friends and family pairs only, but it was rumored that they didn't drop any friends and family, but some people were saying they actually did. So that I'm not 100% sure about. The heel tab is actually kind of soft a little bit, similar to kind of like the SBs. Not as soft, but definitely softer than your normal Jordan 4. It has on the midsole, you know, the front part is black there. The back is like this kind of light cream sail color with an orange air bubble. On the bottom, this part of the outsole is orange with an orange Nike sign and Nike on the bottom. The insole is orange with black lettering for Nike Air. I'm not sure if it'll pick it up there. I'll try it on the right shoe as well. The left shoe does have the hang tag on it. Let me pull that out for you. That's the Undefeated hang tag. I do not keep hang tags on my shoes when I wear them, so I will be cutting this hang tag off. Behind the tongue on the left shoe, normally that says like Air Jordan, but that says Undefeated behind the left shoe on the tongue there. Some people were having quality control issues with the writing behind this little sticker here. So I'm gonna take a quick peek. And then one thing that doesn't really show up on the camera if you're watching this review, I'm hoping it'll show up here. Let's see what the magic of the iPhone can do. But the tongue is like a glossy green. Not sure if you guys can see that, but it's like a glossy metallic green, and it's kind of got like a little bit of an iridescence to it. That's a real nice touch. But I'm curious because some people were saying behind this sticker, some people were missing some of the lettering for their shoes. So some were saying like Jordan uh, uh, rape and all this different kind of stuff because the lettering had fell off. But mine says Jordan. Let me just read it before I let you guys see it. Mine says Jordan Rare Air. And with these, all of the lettering is white. There's no gold lettering or nothing. Excuse me, got hiccups all of a sudden. No gold lettering or nothing like that, how it was with the Rare Air. It's just all white lettering. And put this back very carefully. All right, don't mind me. Just laying that up there like that because I don't want that to lose shape. I will be putting these right back in the wrapping in a second here. Like I said, I don't normally get rid of the wrapping paper. I do not necessarily get rid of wrapping paper. I don't normally start like rearranging the wrapping paper until I actually do the first wear. So I'm gonna wrap these back up, and then after I wear them for the first time, I normally take the wrapping paper, lay them out in the box, and then they get folded over the shoes kind of the way that normal wrapping paper would. Like I said, they wrap these up really, really good, which is a good thing because in that way, while they're traveling, they can't bleed and like the tongue can't rub up against the other shoe. Alright, so let's see what we got here. On this right shoe, praying for not a ton of QC issues, like a glue stain here and there, really no biggie because that happens on almost every shoe. You're not gonna get a perfect shoe. These are made in the factory. People getting tired, the little kids they got making these shoes, getting tired, they stomach growling, they hungry, they getting $1 a day. They attention span short, they wanna go outside and play. So you can't expect them little kids to make no perfect shoe. They probably was like, we tired of Undefeated, and probably just slapped some stuff together. But anyway, on my right shoe, I immediately noticed that there is a glue stain right there on the side, but not too big of a deal. When you got these down on the floor and you're wearing them, nobody's gonna jump down the floor magnifying. I'm like, ooh, it's glue stain. No one's gonna do that. So it is what it is, because even with the glue stains, there are thousands of people that would still love to buy this shoe and even pay resale for it, even with that little glue stain. So it's not a big deal. There are some other little spots on it, not necessarily like glue stains, but where you can tell that even though they wrapped the shoe, it still was kind of bumping up against, you know, the box and stuff while it was in, you know, the shoe box or whatever. So you can still see where it's kind of like some little abrasions just from the, you know, the shipping or whatever. It just, you know, is what it is, one of those things. But yeah, with both shoes, they both say Nike Air on the back. The left shoe isn't any different from the right shoe as far as anything different. Just looking over the shoe here. I almost dropped it for a second, but caught it. Just trying to look and see like what's blemishes, what's not. Like I said, I do notice the caging on here is a little wonky looking. But that's what a lot of people's pairs, their cages the caging on the sides look a little wonky. I don't know what they were doing, but it could be the fact that they could have laced them so tight that kind of mushed them down. And then like once you take the laces and loosen them up and put your foot in them, these will probably fill out and fill in and it won't be much of an issue. So when they were in the factory, those little kids probably pulled the laces so tight that it kind of made this part buckle. Like I said, not a huge big deal. Yeah, like this little abrasions from the shipping, because this is new bucket happens. But we can put both shoes side by side. And if you happen to get your hands on a pair, one thing I just noticed is that with each shoe, they do have like that little widow's peak on the toe box. So if you get a pair, they do have those little widow peaks on the front, on the toe. And this right shoe they lace this one up super good. But let's take a look at the lettering behind here and make sure there's nothing crazy going on. And see, they lace this up so tight that this little sticker or tab or whatever is already coming off because it has no room to breathe. But let's pull this off and take a look. Make sure this doesn't say no rape air. me see. I gotta look at it like this to make sure I ain't pulling none of the lettering off while I'm trying to pull off the sticker. Nope, mine says Jordan Rare Air. So no issues with the lettering on my shoes. No, some people had Jordan Pear Air. Some people had Jordan Rape Air. So it just was crazy. Some people had all kind of stuff because the lettering was missing on theirs. But I mean, you just got to have a totally jacked up, crazy pair, or you gotta have been fooling around with your pair and just taking it apart on purpose, trying to get, you know, some attention on Instagram or something. And this one, the tab got stuck on the shoe, and it's trying to stick on the side. That's why I hate when they get them from the factory and they lace them up tight like that, because then now this thing is just doesn't want to go on here. But I'll deal with this later. Let you guys finish up the video, finish watching the video, excuse me. But yeah, they put that on there kind of crazy. But anyway, like I said, I'll fix that later because it's grabbing hold of the side of the shoe. But inside of this shoe, which they pull these laces together so tight, it's hard for me to get my hand in here. There is an extra set of laces. And the thing is, when these people put the laces in there, I'm just kind of a little bit of like a OCD. So inside of my shoes, that little size tag, I like to have that right in the middle of the Nike Air. And whoever put the laces in this shoe kind of knocked that little tag over to the side, and I hate that. And now it's kind of already been kind of stuck on to the insole, and I can't really get my hand in here to really move it over to where I want to. Like I said, I'm just a little OCD. That's just me. I hate when that little lettering, that little size lettering is not in the middle of the shoe. But anyway, like I said, let me get back to this for a second. Sorry, I got sidetracked. It does come with an extra set of laces. These laces are orange, and you're able to take these, these orange laces, you throw them in here, and it'll highlight the orange air bubble and highlight the orange Jordan sign there. But yeah, this little glue stain, I don't know how they got that glue right there on the side of the shoe. Is what it is. Like I said, not a big deal. This shoe, just a small little spot right there on the toe. But other than that, not a lot of QC issues in general. Like I said, I'm grateful that I got the shoe. Now, if I'd have paid resale for these things, then I would, definitely be kind of upset, about some of these little minor flaws. But at the end of the day, if you pay retail for this shoe, it's a grail. Consider yourself blessed. Consider yourself lucky. Just deal with the flaws and call it a day, because that's what I'm doing. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to try to get some merch or some kind of merch. They sold out of all of the merch on the actual drop day. I should have got the bomber jacket when I had the chance and got a couple of the shirts. But I was kind of thinking Nike was going to do a release and release the clothing. But unfortunately, all of the clothing sold out on the website. But it is what it is. I'll get some other matching merch some other way. I'll probably go through Outrank brand, grab a couple of their shirts, or find something else, along the way. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys have a blessed night. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a great and awesome rest of your week. And I got a really, really special unboxing coming up next week. Should be around Monday or Tuesday. But you guys got to stay tuned for that one. Have a good one.